staying on the path that I've chosen, straight up, come my way, and I'll see you at the top. 'Cause something's gonna happen in this story.
My name is Dan Anderson.
I'm Jonell Anderson.
We've been on the road since June 17th when we purchased our RV. I'm 50 years old.
And I'm 49. Well, for me, for the last 10 years, I've worked at a level 1 trauma center doing CAT scans. And just with all the stuff that I've seen, how quickly life changes, how through accident or illness. And I've just come in contact with a lot of people that have a lot of regrets because they waited and waited and waited until they reached the magical number financially or with their age or something before waiting to live out their dreams. And it was, a lot of people had a lot of regrets that they just didn't take the time to really truly live their life. And we kind of went to a financial planner and he said, oh, you guys are doing really good, you should wait until you're 67 and retire. And it was kind of very depressing because although it was good news to hear we're doing okay saving, it wasn't what I wanted to hear because we really weren't living our lives, and who knows what life would be like in another 17 more years. We may not physically be able to do this. So we've just talked about it, saved a lot, and just decided now is the time to really start to live our life. We started following a lot of people's blogs and found out that this is something that you can make a living on the road doing. You don't make a lot of money, but you make enough to live a good, happy life.
And I was a school teacher for 27 years. I taught high school math. While I enjoyed it, things have been changing, certainly in the state of Wisconsin as far as education's concerned, and just gave us one more reason to hit the road a little bit sooner. And as she said, with following everybody's blogs, it's the number one thing that we heard from all of them. If you could start over again as a full-timer, what would you do differently? And without hesitation, they all said we would have started sooner. And we hit 50 and we've been looking at getting an RV, and in the last few years we really started to research the full-timer aspect of RVing, and we just decided let's do it now. We're young enough, we're healthy enough, and it's something we really wanted to do, and why not see the country and live life now, and if things don't work out we can always go back to the old jobs and go from there. This is a 2014 Heartland Key Largo. It's 40 feet 2 inches long and about 13.5 feet tall. Well, initially we wanted to get a travel trailer, and once we decided about full-time living, then it came down to something we could live in. And that's when it became Class A versus fifth wheel. And we went to many shows. We even went to an RV rally in Kentucky, and we decided eventually on the fifth wheel. And we just thought it was more homey, and I think the biggest thing was the kitchen. We wanted something that had a lot of kitchen space, counter space. We love our center island so we can cook, and the other thing was we don't have a driving wheel in our living room as well. And I guess that was kind of some of our big things.
That, and also it fit in our budget. One of the things too was we did not want to have any debt on the road, so we needed something that we could just kind of pay cash for. So getting a fifth wheel was a little more economical, and we do a lot of cooking, and so we really needed something with a big kitchen that we could continue cooking. That also helps to save money, is not eating out a lot, so that's another thing for the budget.
We did find that if we were going to be traveling a lot more and doing a lot more sightseeing, the Class A would probably be easier to get around, because with a big 40-foot fifth wheel, once you get somewhere you like to keep it there for a while, because it does take a while to get it in and out of some of the locations that you would want at certain parks.
And since we're going to be doing work camping most of the time, we'll be any place for 3 to 5 months, a fifth wheel just seemed to work out better for us for this. We, like I said, it was important for us to be completely debt-free on the roads. We didn't have to worry about that. We are finding jobs through workcamper.com. There's also several other sites, coolworks.com, or even just fellow work campers that we've talked with. we get recommendations. So we did start out last fall with working at Amazon in Kentucky, which we really enjoyed, and we got to do a lot of time exploring in Kentucky. Our next area that we want to spend time in is in South Dakota, and so we found a job out in South Dakota, so we'll have basically the whole summer to really explore that area. And then next year we're probably looking at maybe going west, and then maybe we will probably find some jobs out in the Arizona area. That's kind of next area that we want to kind of explore. So we sort of look at an area that we want to spend some time in, and then find some jobs in that area.
And the nice thing about the job that we found at Amazon and the one that we'll be working at Crazy Horse in South Dakota is they essentially pay for your campsite, and then you get a wage on top of it. Now at Crazy Horse, they don't fully pay for your site. You have to pay a nominal fee, but it's a small fee, and then you still get paid for working. So that allows us then to finance most of our year through those places.
And it's not like you make a lot of money.
No.
I mean, like at Amazon we made $10 an hour, and we worked 40 hours a week, but they paid for our campsite. So it's really whatever your expenses are. You know, groceries and gas is really all that we had to do. And
Bases.
I think fear is like the biggest obstacle to overcome, because even after I gave my notice at work, I just like have this panic, like, okay, is this really the right thing? But then I would see things at work or talk to other people again that kind of reassured me, and that as long as you can overcome that fear, that's really the biggest obstacle. Even with all the people that we've talked to that are following our blog, they said that there's no way they could do this, but they'll follow us because it was just too hard for them to overcome that fear. And as long as you can overcome that fear, you can really kind of accomplish whatever you put your mind forth.
Is you have to be realistic about your financial situation, and you also need to make sure that you go and research some of the different types of units that you could buy, whether it's a Class A or a pop-up trailer, whatever it happens to be. And you know, you do have to still live within your means and read about it from blogs or from the internet, or talk to people that have done this, go to some RV shows and just kind of learn a little bit about it too. And once you've done that, then I 100% agree with what she says. You just have to say, let's get it done, and go out there and enjoy.
Like the rising of the sun, straight up flying through the troubles laid before me. Can't you feel